Good morning, Forward friends. Before I get started on today's lesson, I wanted to let you know that there is an optional folder. Please check it out. There's a staff survey there. I want to spread some joy with Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. I've already thanked Ms. Bass, Mr. OP, Mr. Shaw, Mrs. Goodnow, and Mrs. Rogers. So, open up the optional folder and you can find out what to do so you can possibly help another staff member get a Dunkin' Donuts $5 gift card. See you later, and let's get to that lesson.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I want to talk to you very quickly about Eric Carle and some of his artwork. You will notice I do have some books in this studio, and typically I don't do that, but I wanted you to really see some more of Eric Carle's work if you're interested. I want you to look at this, and I want you to look at all of his pictures, his illustrations inside the books. What does it look like he did? Do you see? Well, what Eric Carle did was he used collage. He actually cut these different pieces and overlapped them and glued them down in his original copy of this book or in all of his artwork. Okay, so you'll notice that this here tail, and you're not going to see the whole thing, so I'm not going to outline the whole thing, actually goes underneath the back of the kitty cat's hump or back, okay? So it probably is, a square here or even just a little triangle. Okay, so that is a shape. But you'll also see, the reason I'm telling you this is, friends, you're going to be cutting some shapes out to make the different things you're doing. Now, yours may not be animals, because what you're going to do is you are going to take your thumbnail sketches from last week and you're going to create one of those ideas. But if you need help, here's an idea. So the chin is just a little shape like that. The face is a circle or an oval shape with triangle ears. Okay, the eyes are glued on top of the face, and they're almost like rectangles or parallelograms. And the pupils actually look like 2, 4, 6. They look like pentagons or hexagons. And there's little ovals inside of there. The nose, which comes under here, is another rectangle. And on top of that rectangle is a pink triangle. The reason I'm tracing all of these, you're not going to be tracing them, but I'm tracing these so that you understand that the face and everything you make when you draw or cut things out, you're drawing shapes. Okay? You have something that looks kind of like a rectangle here. Now, he made his leg all one, but think about it. Here's a rectangle underneath of that head. And then, if this is too hard for you, it's just a bumpy line. But if it's too hard, you can also think of it as an oval, and an oval. Now, maybe you want to draw that and then trace around it. Okay? So, for example, bumpy, 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 and come together. So that is the same as that. Again, we have a rectangle-like shape. Now, his back is a hill. So those are just some ideas. If you don't believe me, We're going to try the gorilla. Could also do people. But the gorilla has circles for eyes, and in fact the gorilla has 3 circles glued on top of each other. Alright, we have a shape like that, kind of looks like a jar or a vase. Then we have circles for his nostrils. His mouth is an oval, and he has little ovals inside for teeth. We have a shape here, but instead of going under there, it probably is an oval. And then on top of the oval, he glued another shape. And this shape is kind of reminds me of a helmet or a half of a circle, okay? And then he cut some nicks out of it to give it some hair, okay? Some texture. Now, talking about texture, so what he did first is he would paint a piece of paper. And do you see these lines in the paper? He would take maybe a tool like this with a flat edge, okay? Or the back of his paintbrush, or maybe an unsharpened pencil, and he would make lines while the paint was still wet. Now we used watercolors, so we can't add texture too much to that, but some of my fun friends, they did by using the dry brush technique. So they did some dabbing. My bigger kids did that. We learned about the dry brush technique. So that is one way to add texture to it. But right now, you might just be focusing on the colors and the shapes in order to make your special creatures. Remember, so if you do not have your thumbnail sketches from last week, you might need to make some quick sketches again. Also, remember, those thumbnail sketches should not take that long. In fact, they should be done by the time your book is over. So, let's move on. Okay, 2nd and 3rd grade friends. So last week you were asked to draw 2 to 3 thumbnail sketches. And that means you draw 2 ideas. So in this picture here, I did 2 plants with faces, like I was asked to do. These are trees. Now, I can then pick my favorite out of these. And if you don't have those pictures with you, just go back to last week and check on the pictures you did. If you only drew 1 though, please friends, go ahead and draw 2 quick sketches and repost it so you can raise your grade because you need 2 to 3. So I have these 2. They look pretty good. I really like the way she is like here. I think if I were to change it and get rid of this, now I like her a little bit better. Okay, so this here is my favorite. I'm going to pick her to do as my final copy. If, let's say, you did 3, so I have here 3, and you'll notice that these are a little bit smaller because I had to separate my paper into 4 different boxes. I didn't do this box. You could if you wanted to. So I'm looking at these, and I like this one. I love the funny face. I might actually use the funny face on this one, but I didn't do any arms. So I tried to do arms here. Putting her sideways, she looks a little funny. Maybe I could have done that better, but I did like the way I did these petals. So on this guy here, I did those type of petals, but I have him facing forward, and I used both of the leaves to be like arms. And you notice that I even put a split leaf so that it looks like he's got fingers, okay? So this one here is probably my favorite. This is the one I'll probably go with. If I decide to change his face and make it that one or put some eyelashes on it, I can do that, no problem. But this is the one that I am going to work on when I do my collage. So, just like we talked about Eric Carle and his collaging, we are going to collage. So let me teach you how to do that now.
Don't forget to click the easel in the next slide. The easel will give you a demonstration and tell you what items you will need for this lesson. When you go into the next room, in case you don't have those items, you will also find some some computer things on the bookshelf. I may have some art books available to you that tell you or show you some pictures or artwork that artist has made, because we're going to do some artwork that's different but similar to the artist. Okay, good luck, guys. So click the green next arrow.